Okay.
I keep quiet then.
Well, hey, here we are. Here we are. We are back again. Hey, hello, everybody. My name is James. I am the guy from the Friendly Men, and I am with my one of my heroes since I was a teenager. I am with Andreas of Vintersorg. So say hello to all the people out there, Andreas.
Yeah, hi everyone. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, so let's get started. All right, so the new album just dropped about less than 2 weeks ago. Vattenkrafternas Spel.
All right,
Vattenkrafternas
James.
Spel.
Yeah, you're almost there. Vattenkrafternas Spel. Very nice.
So I just have some comments I'd like to make about it. I've listened to this album probably from 5 times from start to finish, and it is excellent, excellent. And I love the songwriting, I love the performances, and I have to give shout outs where shout outs are due is your band that backed you up on it. You know, from Mate's leads to Johanna's backup singing, that your female singer, and then of course Seaman on bass. This album is just fantastic. So let's go into it a little bit, like the process. This is the Water album, correct? Like this is connected to two
Yeah.
other albums.
Yeah, how deep should we plunge into that those
Oh,
waters? I guess
good.
very, very deep then. But now, yeah. I mean, we have been on this kind of a 4 element cycle, uh, trying to focus on one element per album. We did the 3 albums first. We did the earth element. We did the air and the fire. Then I got feeling to get back a little bit more in time, and I don't know. I was just hooked a little bit on our really or on our past from the Tilfjells. Like, oh, we should really plunge into that and see how we could take that a little bit further into that more kind of traditional Vintersorg area. I guess, and that's me. Like as a kind of artist, I go by heart and feeling. I don't go that much by calculation plan. I mean, we should probably have done the fourth element in a sequence, but yeah, I didn't figure that out at that point in time. Just go by heart. So therefore, we did that Tilfjells Part 2. But then, of course, we had this plan all the time to do the whole cycle for element, and now we are here for the Water album. It's taken us a long time, not to produce and record the album. I mean, it's been a long process from the Tilfjells Part 2. It's actually 8 years. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, a little bit too long. I mean, we needed to take a little bit of a break. I mean, life
Eight
happens.
years is a little bit of a break. Are you kidding me? That's
Yeah,
almost more
no,
than a
but
decade.
yeah, but that was not the plan for the whole 8 years. But we were supposed to do a little bit of break, and then Simon has now in that break. Before the break, he didn't have any kids. Now we have 2 kids, so life just happens. Like so, a lot of things happen. I moved around. I've changed daytime job several times, so it's been quite a hectic life. I also recorded 2 albums with Harmdal. I did some other albums, yeah, Dim Build and other stuff. So of course, but after some years, then when we were supposed to, okay, now we need to focus and do actually the new Vintersorg album. I had the songs and everything. Then we found out, okay, we don't. oh, our record contract has really expired with Napalm. I mean, we completed that with
Wow.
the Fields Part 2. And then it was like, oh, the whole process of going shopping again. But yeah, we had a really nice conversation with Napalm, and we decided to not to continue as a kind of a team together after the contract. I mean, they've grown quite a big label, and nowadays they are focused on really bands that go on touring and stuff like that. And Vintersorg had never been that kind of band, so yeah, we've been a little bit of kind of an awkward band in that sense. I mean, from a record company perspective, you want the band to be kind of successful, you want them on the road, a lot of stuff like that. So but there was no hard feelings. But of course, it felt a little bit. I mean, we've been there for like, oh, is it 27 years or something like that? A very long time. But actually, it was Napalm that suggested us for talk to Hammerheart, and we are very very pleased with Hammerheart. And Hammerheart and Napalm also have a strong collaboration. I mean, they have shares distribution chains and stuff like that. So all in all, we landed at a really, really nice place with Hammerheart. We are super happy with their priorities for us, how they want to proceed with stuff, and stuff like that. And when we're talking about the new album, Dan, I mean, this album became quite an epic long piece. It's over 60 minutes. Was not nothing we planned either, but it was kind of a theme album. So the songs I was writing connected to each other. And then it was also a problem because we ended up in a situation like, okay, this album is a little bit too long to have it on vinyl. I mean, 60 minutes, it's going not could be good quality on the vinyl. I mean, 40 minutes, 45, 50, then 50 is like the crucial limit. You can't go over that, otherwise it will sound crappy. But so it was like, I was like, okay, do I really need to take off some songs? But Hammerheart, it was like that. Well, it's a concept album. You shouldn't take songs off just because of the format. So they're like, we do a double vinyl. I was like, hey, double, gatefold, double vinyl. This is kind of a childhood dream come true. I mean, the Kiss Alive album, the double thing. I mean, yeah, go ahead. So what I mean by that is like the the label, the Hammerheart, the company, they were like, we shouldn't compromise with the whole album just because of that. Instead, we do a double thing. So, and I really like that kind of mindset. Should never compromise. Of course, you need to compromise with some stuff. Otherwise, I mean, we are living in a kind of reality. But it feels very nice that they, because I was like, oh, need to take some songs here and stuff like that. But no, we didn't do that. And I'm very satisfied we didn't compromise with that. So it's a long piece, but it was 8 years also since we had one Vintersorg album out. So yeah, we
All
can
right.
we can
Well,
talk, we can talk much more about the songwriting and stuff like that. But I mean, now I've talked for 6 minutes, so
I just want people in the chat to
yeah,
to hear a story of mine. Is when I first met you in person, I flew to Skellefteå, where you're from in Sweden, and
yeah,
it's going to be a long story, so guys, bear with me. So Matti, his guitar player, called us, my friend Bart and I. Shout out to Bart. Bart's watching us right now. He messaged Bart and I, hey, I need help carrying a half stack to the practice space, and I was like, I'll be down there in 2 minutes. Like, just let me put my
yeah,
jacket on. I'm there. And so Monty pulls up, and there's a Marshall cab in the back of his car. And I start like carrying a Marshall cab with him down to your practice space. And I thought it was a Temple of Discord rehearsal because you guys were playing 2 nights later at the
yeah,
hotel where I was staying at. And he
yeah.
goes, no, it's a Vintersorg rehearsal. And I said, are you fucking kidding me? It's Vintersorg. Like, Andreas is coming here. You guys are going to rehearse in front of my face. And then Monte says to me, he goes, I asked him very nicely, hey, can we watch the rehearsal? And Monte goes, well, I don't know. I mean, Andreas is kind of secretive about that sort of stuff. And I'm like, hey, I respect that. I flew
I
across the
know.
world. If I can't watch the rehearsal, it's totally fine. So I called Bart and I go, Bart, get down here right now. He was with his girlfriend, Jen. I said,
Yeah.
you got to get down to the lobby right now. Andreas isn't even here yet. I'll take you to the gym practice spot. So
Oh.
As I'm in your practice spot, every member comes in at a time. First, it was Benny, your drummer. Then it was
Yeah.
Simon and Johanna. First, and then you were the last one to show up. And then coming out of this cold Swedish winter, you come in with like a big jacket. And I remember giving you a hug. And then I'm thinking to myself, all right, Andreas is going to be very nice. And he's like, hey, guys, look, can you guys go back to your hotel room? Like, we're going to be spend some time together. You did it. You gave us earplugs, and you're like, hey, and then you said to us, you go, hey, guys, don't tell anyone our secret. It's like for the show. And I'm like, my lip is sealed.
Yeah.
And I just remember asking you, because I have a background in singing myself. I sang for some bands. And I just remember asking you, because your voice is so unique and so different. It's awesome. Your range is so amazing. And I remember asking you, going, how do you practice? How do you warm up your voice? And you just looked right into my face and you go, oh, the first song.
Yeah.
Thinking like Andreas is gonna go hide in a corner with like some aroma scented candles or hot teas. Just no, the first song. I just lost my shit because I asked the singer of Cryptopsy the same question. Hey man, how do you practice your voice? And he was like totally opposite. He was the guy that I expected you to be. Like held up his jacket to his throat. He's like, I am going to a warm room right now. But nope, you just came in and you're like, first song. I just
Yeah, but we kind of hey, Bart is there.
There's Bart,
But we kind of design the set list
the
that
Geo method.
I mean we designed the set list so this first song is not the most demanding.
Still have it.
Still have it.
Still got it. Still got the set
That's
list.
actually that has been traveling across the world.
It's in America with me right now. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
Then I mean, it's like now, but we kind of designed the set a little bit like that. The first song is not the most demanding, but it's also for me it's also important that I don't start with a lot of this kind of black metal screams. Then it's kind of a little bit of could be a little bit of a challenge then further down the set. But so we kind of designed so the first song should be quite something that I don't go super high pitch in the clear vocals and not start with a lot of kind of more black metal screams. So but
No.
with that said I guess that's how I do it. Yeah.
Okay, quick question about that set though. You've already recorded the new album. The songs have been done, recorded by then. Why didn't you incorporate any new tracks into that set? Because I would have loved to have heard Malmstrom Bruce live. Because that song that was your first single off the new album. Holy shit, is that freaking catchy, man? Just the way. Why didn't you play any of those songs live when Bart and I were there?
Yeah, of course, it's always something you want. You want to play the new songs, but people haven't heard that and stuff like that, and you have this kind of limited amount of time. And for us, it's very demanding. Now we have like 11 albums, and to choose for a kind of a set, I think initially where you were on the set, on that set it was like 70 minutes. We had 70 minutes, and for us to squeeze in, I mean, even if now we are going to do a set in 3-4 weeks. We have promised to play from each and every album.
Ooh.
That's 11 songs, and one song is not 3 minutes. I mean, so we have 80 minutes, and we have to squeeze it in. And it's for us. It was like we need nowadays. We should have like 2 hours. So therefore, it's always this kind of problems like what to choose. Many wants to hear the old stuff, but as a band, you want to play your new stuff. So yeah.
No, okay, first question, Andreas, from Luis Nell. Speaking of clear vocals, is OTIG ever happening? I know you were thinking about coming back a few years ago. First question to Luis.
Yeah, hi. Well, what we are doing right now that I have delivered to our record companies, we're doing this kind of box set with OTIG. I have remastered the 2 albums, and also have kind of polished up and mastered the 3 demos. So it's going to be a 5 album box set, and with that, this is of course old material, and also with that, it's going to be 5 CDs in the box set, but also we're going to release that on vinyls as well. So it's going to be 5 vinyls as well. So that's kind of for starters. But we have talked about this for many years, doing a new OTG album. I have written a lot of new songs. We tried to kind of charge it up from some years ago, kind of restarted a little bit, but now people are spread across the globe. Well, I have never closed that door, but it's not just right now. It's not we don't have that super planned or anything, but I've learned throughout the years that should never say kind of a you should never say no and be very firm about it, because things changes, your mind changes what you want to do and stuff like that. So but now focus is on getting that box set out, and it's going to be cool kind of a piece of work, and also a nice piece of art, because we have kept all the original paintings from the demos. I have saved them for 30 years.
What?
In my wardrobe, like I'm like, oh, this is the drawing I did for the demos. Like, oh, they've been sitting there for 30 years.
Can you possibly go get them and show them if you know where they are? I don't want to put you on the spot, but it would be kind of cool to see them.
Yeah, I can do that in a bit.
Okay, sure.
I need to go into another room and actually see where I had it now, because we had it just on a physical thing. Now we've scanned it in, and so now the company is working on it. Yeah, I'm working back and forth with them now to make the layouts and everything. So, but it looks very nice, and it's old school. So this is kind of yeah. And I mean, OTG is very kind of folk metal, and the art is kind of more folk art also. So it's but it's nice. I'm glad I saved that for 30 years.
Okay, so Brooke V asked, will you tour in Canada? Do you have fans all over the world?
Oh, nice. Well, Canada, yeah, we did some show in Canada. That was over 20 years ago.
That's poor Brooke was probably like a child in Canada. She probably couldn't even go to shows 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
Precisely. Yeah. Now it would be really nice. We haven't done that much touring for many years. Now we have opened up a little bit, doing some more festivals, but we are not going to do this kind of long touring. We're not in that kind of position. We have a lot of other stuff going on with family, stuff like that. So it's not going to work out for us. And of course, I really love to play live. I really love to meet the audience and everything. But for me, also the music itself has always been the kind of the diamond. And when I write the songs, that's the crucial part. That's my super kind of musical energy. But then you have recorded, and of course you want to kind of broadcast that in a more kind of a live situation in front of an audience, because the audience is also you get a lot of energy back for that kind of setup. So back to the question, I can't say. Hopefully we can do some more. I would like to come over to US and Canada, do some shows, but we don't have anything like kind of determined kind of plan. We have got some proposals, doing some shows, but nothing is decided yet. So boring answer.
Yes. See, this is why Bart and I had to fly to Sweden, because we knew that would be one of the ways to see you. All right, hey, questions are coming in like crazy. So Bart just asked, when do you plan on releasing another song in English?
Yeah, that's the other thing. You should never say no to anything, but yeah, I understand this kind of questions. I mean, we did all in the beginning, 4 first releases, Swedish. The 4th one, Cosmic Genesis, changed a lot of English, 2 Swedish songs. Then we did the more English albums, and the Focus and Blur, totally in English. But I felt like back then I felt like I was also the vocalist in Borknagar, wrote the
You were
English
singing
lyric for
Borg
that.
Nine,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And I also had a lot of other bands writing English lyrics. I was kind of starting to miss to write lyrics in my mother tongue, because that was the whole idea with Vintersorg at the beginning. I mean, back then nobody did sing in Swedish. I didn't just do that because of that, but it felt very natural for me to with that kind of musical setting. So therefore, after all these English albums, I felt very kind of strong urge to go back to write some lyrics in my mother tongue, and then I have stayed in that. But that doesn't mean that this will always be like that. Could be nice also to alternate a little bit. Maybe we'll do some English album. I don't know. So yeah, I give so boring answer, and that's who I am. Like I nothing is that super planned with me. It's more like I go by heart, I go by feeling, not that much super calculation, planning 3 years ahead. We should do that and that promotion campaign and blah blah blah. It's more like now we feel like this, and then we do it like that.
All right, so Luis says, thank you for your reply,
Yeah.
Vintersorg. That's great material for the box set, which you have the box set next to you. You have the Vintersorg box set next to you. If you'd like to
Yeah.
plug that for a quick second,
Yeah. It's not.
go ahead.
Yeah. And this is kind of the small box set that we just have released. Kind of it's so glossy and shining. It's kind of a diamondish. Now, but this one is actually called A Dialogue with the Stars. It's maybe not a box set, but it's compiled. We have done a remastering of the 4 first albums, the first releases. So we have the first EP, Hedningshjärtat.
Oh,
We have
which was released in 97, right?
yeah, Till Fjälls, Ödemarkens Son, remastered. All this is remastered, and also then Cosmic Genesis. Yeah, and also you get this kind of really small kind of poster stuff like that with it. So, but so this is something that has been released in duality with the new album. This was released the same day, because I was working in parallel with mastering all this kind of stuff, old stuff. That's really great. Yeah, here you see the backside of it. Yeah, but you get 4-in-1. Really nice package. But then also we have a big box set for the new album. You have the vinyls, the CD, the music cassette, and some posters and stuff like that. And it's a really nice box. But I don't have it because there are they're shipping them to. They've started shipping up to all the audience that bought it, because it was some a little bit delay with the production company that's making these kind of boxes. So it was a little bit delayed. Yeah. So I couldn't show that. That one looks fantastic. You can go and check on our social media. I have put up some pictures on it from when the company itself, they have opened it and show them. So I will do some unboxing when I get it.
Can you show us the vinyl really quick of the new album?
Yeah, the vinyl. I should probably maybe take it out of this kind of
plastic.
plastic.
Yeah, you can. You certainly can. You got more questions coming in, Andreas. You got a busy night tonight, buddy.
Yeah. You see, this is what I'm talking about. The gatefold. Hey.
See, I still have it on my CD, man. I can compare it. You know?
Yeah. And it's really nice.
Is it clear? Is it a clear record?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of 4 different. This is the black ones. We have the green ones. We have the kind of splattering different. I think they did like 4 or 5. It was so much things going on. I was working on this one, all the remastering, all the big box set for the new album, and then they released the new album in different vinyl format, kind of colors. So there was so much things going on. I kind of lost a little bit track on all the releases that came out the same day. But yeah.
Go. All right. So here's the next question. Can you see the questions? By the way, can you see them?
Yeah, I see the question.
Okay, so speaking of other projects, is the new Cronian happening ever?
Yeah, me asking the same, but yeah, me and Øystein from Borknagar, It's kind of our project. Me and him. It's just me and him in that band. We did 3 albums. I guess it's like 10 years since we did the last one, or 9 years, something like 10. Yeah, something like that. Maybe more. You probably have better knowledge about that. I totally don't. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, the Cronin album. I mean, for me and him, it's been a quite hectic times lately. Borknaga have really ramped up their live performances. They're doing a lot of touring, and Øystein also have the kind of a studio. He's recording other bands and stuff like that, and mixing, mastering. So been very busy the latest years. But we talked like, but this also have gone time now. Is maybe 1 year ago, something like that. We talked about it like just briefly. It would be nice to do it further down the road. So we haven't closed that door, and I would really love to do a new Cronin album. Cronin is something I'm very fond of, because it's kind of a little bit of a mix of Vintersorg, Borknaga, but still it's something a little bit awkward. It's a kind of a little awkward child to me and Øystein that we want to have a little bit awkward.
Sure. Don't say bastard stepchild. Don't use the term bastard stepchild.
the awkward cousin.
No. So all right, now Andreas, what does your Bronze Age necklace mean to you?
This one.
I guess that's the one he's referring to. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, this one is kind of a configuration of the Thor's hammer. I mean, from the kind of the Viking mythology. I like the shape of it, and also this has been made by a really great friend of mine. Are you doing this, Beatrice Hägglund? She's the twin sister of Benny, the drummer.
Beatrice is probably watching us right now. Actually, she's been liking all my comments.
Yeah, but she's doing it, and this is kind of reindeer horn, the material. She's doing a different kind of necklaces, stuff like that, all in this kind of Nordic. Yeah, she's doing a lot of that that kind of symbolism, and I like that. This is, for me, it's not. I don't believe in the mythology by per se, like, oh, Thor, when the thunder is going, that's Thor striking his hammer. No, but I like the historical part of it, and like it's also kind of a history a little bit from where I come from, the northern countries. So for me, it's more kind of a symbolic with, in that sense, that kind of forces from nature combined with kind of how human interpretate nature, and we have interpreted it differently depending on our knowledge. I mean, nowadays when we are super aware of everything through science, we would never thought of that it was Thor kind of banging his hammer, but I like that kind of connection with the past, and for me the connection with the nature. The relation between man and nature is always the big thing in lyrics and stuff like that. So for me, it's very nice shape. I love the historical part of it, and also I got it as a gift from her. So yeah, really nice.
Are we promoting Beatrice's like store? Is she going to open up a store and people are going to message her now?
Yeah, just go to her bar. Now I think she's doing this. I think she's doing this for fun. She had become very good at it in a very short period of time. So yeah, but I don't think she's have the idea of an online store. Not yet, at least. Maybe now. But now I need to get into the business with her. I mean, now I'm promoting this, so we should share that.
If Vintersorg sponsored Beatrice's hammer, Thor hammer, she would be like, God dang it, Andreas, I'm so busy. So, all right, well, back to the comments. So, Brooks says old school rocks, and then Marcelo says having Andreas sharpens your mind. It's always a pleasure to listen to his music, no matter what the band is. And I would highly agree with that, because your dim build stuff, there's no real percussions. It's just you and acoustic guitar just kind of singing. Like, whatever you do kind of becomes something special. So, There you go. I mean, like as you're like, oh, I gotta keep that throat, nice and watery, nice and
Yeah.
wet. So go ahead. Whatever you would like to say to this comment.
No, but thanks a lot on that comment. That's something that I really appreciate. For me, I mean, the art I try to write, to kind of, yeah, bring to life. For me, this is dead serious. I don't do this just for fun. For me, it's a part of living. I mean, I write music on a daily basis. I write music every day, I would say, and then I would probably have some day on a year that I don't do it, but on the other days I write 2 albums. So I guess all in all, you could say at least I produce songs every day in that sense. So for me, I take it so seriously. It's maybe a little bit too serious. I mean, I'm an old guy. I should be probably do other stuff, but for me, it's like very have been a very important part of my life throughout my life, and still is. And I can't really stop myself. So that kind of comments is really, really both flattering. It also feels very nice that someone is actually appreciating all the kind of the mind, the thinking, the energy, and the time I put into this. And then it's nice to see that people really enjoy it.
Well, hey, we got more comments coming up.
Yep.
Will Vintersorg come to Chile one day?
Yeah. Hopefully. Probably. It's also like that. Yeah. Yeah. We we get a lot of proposals from a lot of different places, and for us, it's more like, okay, what can we do with the time we have, the kind of setting that we have with all the kind of work and family stuff like that. So for us, it's going to be easier to do some festivals here in Sweden, some in the nearer kind of European countries, but of course, also nice to travel to other places. We haven't played in South America anytime, and we haven't played. Yeah, there are a lot of places on the globe that we haven't played. I mean, we have been very selective and played very little. I would say for a band that has had it going for nearly 30 years.
Well, like I said, as I keep telling you before, you guys are really big in South America. So, all right, Water Climb is missed too. I go back to those albums and they always deliver. I
Hmm.
guess it's just another comment.
Yeah.
Uh
Oh, I just had them
oh.
by accident. I had those albums here because I was supposed to give them to the keyboard player in Vintersorg. The 2 albums, they're so glossy, this kind of plastic foil on it. But yeah, those albums nice. I also have recorded the third album, but that was like 10 years ago. But I still have it, and haven't been released. So I don't know. Maybe I will just put it out kind of free on like kind of some digital service. So I don't know. It would be nice to just get it out at least.
Sure. So, all right. Well, Andreas, this is Free Spirit,
Yeah.
and they're when I guess it's all right. So those the vinyl looks badass by Tech Girl 3000. She said.
Yeah.
So, would you like to
Super
go?
nice.
Oh, now another story I have to share with the audience here is I remember when you showed Bart and I the cover of that new album while we were at dinner, and yeah,
Yeah.
because you said, "Oh, guys, you want to see the cover of the new album?" And
Yeah.
Bart
I
and
had it
I were
on.
like,
It was I had it
"We
on
were
my
gonna."
phone, right? Yeah.
You did, yeah. We were gonna
Yeah.
throw money at you right there and just buy it from you right to
Yeah.
your face, and then you're like, "Oh no, it's not ready yet." So
Yeah.
how long? Let's talk about that because you did the Fire album, the Earth album. This is the Water album. Did you have to tell the artist like what you want as the
Yeah.
cover, or
Yeah.
go ahead, please go into that a little bit.
Now I work with Chris Verwimp on all these 4 albums. I want the same style, type of artist, not exact same, but I want the same artist to write it because uh, so that's kind of connection also. Otherwise, for me, it's kind of important to have it all connected. It's a 4 element. We want to have it kind of a connection with them. So it was important to have the same artist working on that. And of course, me and him was working very closely back and forth. I sent him IDs. Then he kind of interpreted that into his mind and through his hands, and then he did some sketching, and then we talked about that, and then he actually went for the whole full oil painting for each and every album. But so it's been a really really nice collaboration, and yeah, and we haven't said that we're not going to. I would love to work with him further on as well. But it was also super important to have the same artist on this 4 album. But I would like to keep working with that guy. He's super talented, really really great guy also as well. So been very a pleasure to work with him. Try to just change kind of ideas with each other and see where it would take us. And yeah, I think the new album is kind of a little bit of the crown of these kind of yeah, in the elements. When it comes to the artwork, also it's super super perfect. I mean, for me, it's
Yep.
that was
Go
I
ahead.
was
Go ahead.
yeah, but that was, you know, as a kid back in the day, the vinyl was the thing. Of course, I'm an old guy. And
Yeah.
you love that because you had this big format. You could look at it, you see all the details. So when we came up with this one and he painted it, and I could just see it in my head, like, oh, on a vinyl, this is going to be super awesome. And actually, it also became that. So it's yeah, it's been
It had delivered.
yeah yeah.
So, all right, well, we got some more comments. I love the lyrics. We have laughing heart emojis. The other one. Here's one from Josh. Ask him what music genre is his guilty pleasure other than metal. You love disco, right? Aren't you a big ABBA fan or like?
Yeah. Well, I'm I don't see his stuff as much as guilty pleasure. I'm a kind of a I listen to a lot of different kind of music, but I don't listen to that much kind of commercial pop music. I would say that
Oh, you're
because
not a
that's
Swifty? Oh, come on.
no, but for me, I could listen to some songs and feel okay. This is nice. This is good melody, nice production, everything. But for me, it gets a little bit too uninteresting. But there are a lot of, I mean, I listen a lot to the 70s music, kind of progressive, symphonic. There's a lot of interesting stuff. But I listen to folk music, I listen to rock metal, I listen to, I don't know, more kind of ethnic music, Vardruna, that kind of band. I don't know. So guilty pleasure, I don't have any like, okay, this I listen to secretly that I don't tell everyone. I'm kind of open with, I mean, but I also like some more kind of experimental, not kind of techno stuff, but more that when they are using more electronic sounds, and I'm a big fan of that also. But it needs to have this kind of interesting vibe. Yeah, when it gets just too generic or also that just super commercial, just for the sake of being commercial, then I get kind of lost. I'll lose my interest in it. But I don't blame anyone to that want to write that as well. I mean, people are into music for different reasons. So yeah, for me, it's the art itself is so very important.
Sure. All right. So I think Nat is referring to, but you use another circular one. Could you talk about that one,
Ah, when
please?
I will wait. Okay, I will bring that
Okay,
one.
fine. Go ahead. Thanks, man.
Yeah,
He's leaving right now. He
yeah,
can still. He's getting something for you. Oh,
yeah,
while you're up, can you get that original Otig art?
yeah. I will pick that
Can
up
you
a little
find
bit
it?
later. Then. Yeah, I will pick
Yeah,
that up a
sure,
little
sure,
bit
sure,
later.
sure. We
Okay, I
got it.
mean,
We got time.
I guess that's this one then we are talking
That's the
about.
one with. Oh
Yeah. All right.
yeah, there it is.
Yeah. There's a lot. It's kind of a triskelion. This mean uh, birth, life, and death in it's kind of a Nordic setting as well. It stands for that one, and it's kind of it's kind of a circular kind of ID, life, death, birth. Uh, it's also kind of a Nordic, um, yeah, symbolism. But also you can find that in Celtic mythology. I guess you can find it in other places on the globe as well, because it's a kind of a circular thing: life, death, birth. So and this I have had for at least 30 years, and I wear it.
Gee.
I wear it nearly daily. I really love it. It's kind of also it's have this kind of really nice weight. I mean, it's not this plastic thing. This is kind of I think it's not bronze. This is silver actually, but it has this kind of nice weight to it. That's it's nice.
Huh. So wait, Andreas has bling? Please tell me you wore that when your like kids were born, right? Like you were in the hospital, like, hey, I'm
Uh,
about to get my I'm about to have a child. Oh,
no,
here's my bling.
no. What
So
was I wearing when the kids got born? I don't know. But I mean, I remember listening to uh, a 70s band called Nectar. When my son was born, I mean, I was really into the album called Magic as a Child, and then it was born. Yeah, so it's also kind of everything was aligned.
oh, here's a great question actually. What's the meaning of the Vintersorg symbols for you, both the sun,
Oh,
moon, and the circle?
I will bring that as well.
Just you know what? Keep standing up and just find those old tape records
Yeah.
because you just keep standing up every other. Just get it all done
Uh,
now. Bring everything. Bring the
yeah.
symbols. Bring the brass.
We'll see where I put that one. Yeah.
you can
I'll,
you can still talk, Andres. We can still
yeah.
hear you, by the way. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
could.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm on
All right.
wireless. So this is nice.
Yeah, and actually, a lot of people don't know in the chats. Andres is becoming he's getting so much tattoos on his body now. Tattoos are his
Yeah.
new thing. So the tattoos are the only thing that stops him from writing new music because he's actually getting ink on his body, right?
Yeah. My daughter was like that. Hey, you can't you can't take all your money for tattoos. I need food. I need. Yeah.
Is your
Yeah.
daughter gonna get any tattoos?
She haven't gone down that road yet, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Uh,
she's a big girl. Yeah, I guess this is one the Vintersorg symbol. I can show it. Yeah, on the white
yeah, please.
background, you can. Oh, it has been. Ooh, been a little bit bent here. Yeah. This one. Yeah, something I made 30 years ago. This is horseshoe nails.
Horseshoe nails made that,
Ye-
huh?
Yeah, and it's kind of welded together and bent. So, yeah, it doesn't it doesn't mean it just symbolize Vintersorg in a way. I just wanted to have a nice symbol that I could always use. Think this is I could put the Vintersorg energy into it and always have a kind of a nice symbol that can represent Vintersorg through different kind of settings, different kind of chapters in the Vintersorg story. Still, this one is always with us. It's kind of a thing that connects a lot of the kind of visuals as well. So it's been also 30 years. You see, I'm an old guy. Everything I have, like, yeah, this is 30 years. This is 40 years old. Yeah.
Now wait a minute, you perform with that. Doesn't it hurt your chest as it keeps pounding you? Like,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I
but
saw you perform with that on. You were wearing
yeah,
that. I would
that
imagine
was
that would
yeah,
hurt you.
yeah. Well, that's one. I guess that one has been a little bit bent. Yeah, but now it's back again. But we have, of course, we have digitalized that, so we always have it on the kind of a for our layouts and stuff like that. So yeah.
Huh. All right, next comment. Andreas, your music is so beautiful. I love it so much. I just want to thank you for all the channeling, all of that. I feel very identified and I feel it with the heart.
Oh,
So,
super thanks. That's like yeah, the best comment you can have as a kind of musician. People also, I mean, I put a lot of emotions into this. It's not just something that I write just for fun. As I said, I take it very, very seriously. Put a lot of time, energy, and emotions into it, and of course, then it can stir up emotions or calm down emotions in other people. That's of course best thing ever.
Wow. All right. So Josh asked, who was the most overrated band in both of your opinions? Um, that's a hard question. I mean, you
In
want to go
both.
for it? I think
But
just
what
in
do you mean?
general. I think in
Yeah,
general.
yeah. Okay, yeah, in both. Oof. I don't. I will.
He's putting you on the spot, so he's creating more controversy.
No,
They're
yeah,
going to
no,
use this and they're going to go,
yeah,
Andreas hates Ghost
yeah,
or something like
yeah.
that. And then people
No,
are going to crop it.
yeah,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
I will not bash any bands like that. I like Ghost. Maybe the older Ghost a little bit more than the latest albums, but super great kind of concept they've had going, and yeah, really they've done really success. I don't have any like overrated bands, stuff like that. I don't think of it like that. I mean, if if people like something, they like something. They do it for
Sure.
different reasons. Maybe we are not all like each other. I mean, someone would like that type of music. Others, this no, that's not any spectacular in that. We are different people. We like different stuff. So for me, I couldn't say like, oh, this is very overrated band. But if I would think that, maybe other people like, oh, this is the unique, super unique, great band. So I don't have it. I don't. For me, that's kind of a viewpoint of life. I don't see myself as better than other and stuff like that. So uh, yeah, I guess that's kind of more a general view on life as well. I don't see myself like, oh, I'm so much better than other people in that and that and that. So it's more like, I think I'm kind of humble in that sense that think that I have the opportunity to be able to write and compose and record music. I've got really great opportunities to live out that side of me, and that's super great.
Yeah. All right. Well, Krista asked not to be creepy and ask personal questions, but if only Andreas doesn't mind, is he still a school teacher? And is he married? Oh my God. There it is. Is he married? There already. We got the FAQ. Just kidding, Krista. Go ahead, Howard. It's all you, buddy.
Yeah. Uh, I have a kind of an exam as a teacher. I not work as a school teacher. I haven't done that for 10 years or something like that. And this is kind of I'm not a walking paradox or a walking, but as I said, I love nature in all its forms. I love the relation between man and nature. I love exploring nature. When you explore nature, you explore in some setting also science. And I've always been a very science dude, astronomy, stuff like that, since I was a kid. But I've also been interested in technology. I've been, I mean, I was. This is maybe some news for someone, but I was throughout my whole childhood. I was in motocross. Yeah,
And you're missing one more thing. You're
yeah,
missing one more thing. You're missing hockey. You
yeah,
also
yeah,
played
hockey and
hockey.
motocross, but yeah, yeah, I was skiing, table tennis. I was doing a lot of this sports, but motocross and the motorsports was a big thing in my family. But I was kind of a little the black sheep because I I went out of it and started doing music instead. But but what I was going for is more like I've been interested in science, in the technology, and different kind of technical gadgets and stuff like that. Also, as long as I'm and that is I don't see that as a kind of a controversy or paradox to this kind of very big interest in nature. For me, that's kind of connected in some sense. Human do exploration, we do progress, but all of this kind of stuff have this kind of origin in nature. But I was going for I haven't been I haven't been a teacher, but I've been riding motocross bikes as a kid. But the long story, I haven't been a teacher for 10 years, and now I've been I'm working with as kind of a leader in digitalization. Now I'm also I work as an AI coordinator, and I've been working with software development. I've been a product manager on a big tech company for many years, but now I'm working at our the municipality of Skellefteå, where I live in our town, our municipality, and I'm the AI coordinator for all the AI projects we are doing for our citizens and personnel and stuff like that. So not school teacher, but I work closely in these kind of projects together with kind of schools, their settings they're in. So I understand their kind of their their kind of challenges they have, and now we can try to fix that with better tools and stuff like that. Are you married? No, I'm not married. I have never been married. I have been having I've been having I have lived with the mother's the mother of the kids for many years. We're not doing that at the moment, but so I'm not married. Yeah, that's a short answer to that one.
I thought you were explaining this whole nature thing. I was gonna make a comment like,
yeah.
"So, are you married to nature now? Like,
No.
is that why you're too busy?" So, all right.
Yeah, explaining the whole this kind of mating sequence from nature.
All right. So, Jorge asked, "What about fission?" Fission.
Oh, fission, yeah.
Fission. Yeah.
That band, it's me and the drummer we have now in Vintersorg, Benny. Me and him did 2 albums. This is I think the first one is 2004, something like that. A little bit different stuff, much more kind of trashy, more thrash metal, but this kind of melodic thrash metal, you would find that in other bands like Swedish, kind of the Haunted, that kind of area, I guess, a little bit. So it is kind of melodic a lot. I also do a lot of clear vocals in that band. We did 2 albums, and we actually have material for a 3rd album. We have had that for many years. We have it, but also there we have we started to record, and a lot of stuff happened. We didn't finalize it, and then we have all these songs lying around, so we haven't thrown them away. So hopefully one day we can also make them into a reality.
So, all right. So, this is a message from my mother, actually. So,
Oh.
where was the hardest concert you had with a tough crowd? Was it the last show that I went to? Because you had to stop the show because the guy got assaulted during your set.
Yeah. No, but that was nothing, I guess. Just some drunk dude. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was nothing. The guy that was assaulted, of course, but he was okay. I know the guy, Fabio. And
We had dinner with Fabio the
yeah,
next day. Yeah,
yeah,
he was
yeah.
perfectly fine.
Yeah, it was fine. There was some dude, some I don't know, some guy got drunk, started to, I don't know, something pissed that guy off, and then he was starting to, yeah, I don't know what really happened, but I saw it from stage, and I just pointed the security personnel to towards that, and they just brought that guy out of the venue. So it was not a big thing. But going back to the question, the hardest part, where the toughest been, where the crowd has been tough. Well, but I don't know. I think we have got a lot of great responses everywhere we have played. Oh, see how humble I am. We always get great responses now, but I don't think that we have had this kind of big problems, stuff like that. But I remember one time when we were playing at a show in Germany when I was super sick. I had like 39 degrees. Yeah, we are having the Celsius scale here in Sweden. So I was super sick, the high fever, but we played. We was on a tour. We played every night, and I was so, yeah, I was really not feeling well, and but still we didn't want to cancel, so I did the whole set. And also there were that kind of venue was some very big problems with the ventilation, because it was 100 degrees warm, hot in there, and there were no air, and I was feeling like, and I
Whoa.
had the big fever and everything, so I was like barely hanging in there, but did my best, and we made it through the whole set. So, but that one I will always remember. And then the kind of tour manager afterward, why didn't you say it that you were sick? I could get you pills. But well, yeah. And it was like, I have a bag of pills here. Like, don't I don't use that type of pills.
How many days were you sick on that tour? Was it just a one show, or did you play the next
uh,
show pretty sick?
yeah, that would. But I was starting to feel. Yeah, I think we were on tour for 3 or 4 weeks. We played nearly every night. I think we have 1 or 2 nights off. And when you're traveling like 2 or 3 bands in a nightliner, if one guy is sick, everyone is sick. So there was some other guys were starting to get feeling sick first, and then it spread like it spread like a virus
Yeah.
in the nightliner. And but I was starting feeling worse and worse like 1 week in, and then but I was kind of peaking at that show, and then it kind of got a little bit better, and a little bit further on, it was okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would like to answer this comment, and
Yeah,
yes, he does, because when we went to go see his concert in the hotel where we stayed at in Sweden, the whole band was already in the lobby, and everybody was there talking to them. So yeah, after every show, he talks to everybody. Everyone, he's so approachable. I remember being up front watching Fid, the first band that played with you guys,
yeah.
and there was a girl right next on the stage barrier. She was from South America, because you said, "Oh, we got some
Yeah,
fans flying in from South America," and
yeah,
you approached her, and she gave you like this big hug, and you hugged her, and then you stood around, and then you left, but you really showed your a lot of gratitude for the people that flew all the way
uh,
from other parts of the world. And also,
yeah,
one more thing I gotta say is I think it's so funny that you talked in English during the
yeah,
set, but you
yeah.
never played an English song, which I thought was great.
No,
Because you're
but
like, hey, go ahead. All right, that's all I got to say.
no,
I
no,
thought that was funny.
yeah.
Go ahead.
And that's the whole thing. We have played so very, we have been so very selective with the live sets, live shows. So every time we play, we have really dedicated fans. We love them. They come and traveling from all over the world. I mean, you guys, you travel a long way. We had people coming from on that show in Skellefteå, north part of Sweden. It's not that far from the polar circle, actually. I mean, people flying from Australia, Germany, of course, and Europe, Spain, like that, but also America, and yeah. So for me, it's very important to show respect. And I mean, I could talk Swedish all night long for all the Swedish crowd, but I mean, I would like to have that we are there together. You have flown in here. You came to see us from fucking all over the world. I shouldn't swear, but that was.
You can swear.
but
That's fine. Yeah.
so of course I want to have this kind of. I want to bring that we are in this. We have this night together. I want to have us all in this kind of very warm atmosphere. So of course I will try to speak for everyone, to everyone. And now, as I said, we don't play that much. So every time we play, we have people coming from other countries. So now, I will now in a couple of weeks when we're playing Umeå, I will talking English there as well. I mean, the Swedish speakers can understand, and then we can all be in together. So,
Yeah.
as the question was starting off, I always like to meet people. It's kind of meet and greet before or whatever, before and after. Uh, in a formal setting, sitting there writing article, but also in very in informal setting, just hanging out, talking.
So, all right. Now, Lewis says the chorus, and I'm not even going to pronounce that song title. I don't want you to make fun of me.
Oh, come on,
So,
James.
come on, man. It's one of the most emotional things I've ever heard. I always
Oh.
come back when it's needed. So, yeah, go ahead.
But thanks. That one is a kind of a special for me as well. With this kind of more very progressive album, kind of peaking it with the the Focusing Blur. I felt on that album we couldn't really take it that further exactly down that road. It's more intricate and more intricate. So we did a kind of a little bit different twist on the album with this song is on, Solens Rötter, and that's kind of a little bit of transition album, a little bit more into the more kind of folky, kind of Nordic vibe. And that song, I think, was one of the first song I wrote for that album, and so it's kind of a special. I will always remember that part when I was okay. We have taken Vintersorg in the most progressive direction that we could take it, at least in that kind of progressive direction. You could probably do it in different 100 different other ways, but I felt like I felt a little bit of urge. I need to go a little bit back to the more kind of folk oriented stuff. I was starting to missing that. And then I was writing that song, yeah, Döpt i en Jökelsjö. Pronounce after me, James. No.
You know what's crazy is I've heard people have contacted me and said they've actually tried learning Swedish because of your music. What do you got to say about that? Like your
Yeah.
music is inspiring people to learn your language, which is kind of really cool. Not kind of, it is cool actually.
Yeah, but that's the kind of the utter compliment you get. I mean, you get someone is so interested in the music, in the lyrics. They want to learn the lyrics, understand them, not just do some translation in a kind of a proximal way. They want to learn them, and in the language they are written. So that's the utter compliment you can have as an artist. Yeah, we have had quite a few people that have done this kind of journey, learn Swedish. Some have learned Swedish and speak it kind of fluently. Uh, so, well, yeah, it's that's kind of you get a little bit overwhelmed by that. I mean, because language is not just about words. Language is also kind of a way of thinking, a way of behaving, a way of living. Language is so incorporated in with everything you are doing in your kind of entity. So when someone is want to learn the language they have written, then I mean they are actually also not changing their minds, but they're alternating a little bit how they view upon different things. At least they could go into that a little bit. So for me, that's it's overwhelming, but super
All
cool.
right.
And yeah.
All right. So, well, sorry to cut you off, but have you been contacted by promoters from South America since Vintersorg returned to be a live act?
Yeah. Hi, Danny. Hopefully, I think it could be, yeah, probably many Dannys, but it could also be one that I'm really good old friend. Yeah, no, yeah, we're getting some offerings from different parts also, yeah, from South America, but we haven't done anything more kind of concrete and sign anything for stuff like that. So, and as I was saying before, our we are back as a kind of a live act, but we have a kind of limited availability for doing it. So,
Well,
but we'll see.
hey, anything's possible, I guess, right? You don't want to break Danny's heart right now, do you? So, all right. Have you explored nature in the U.S. and maybe explored the idea of doing a full album in English?
Mm. We have done a full album in English. The Focus on Blur is totally in English.
That's right. Yeah.
But that one is kind of it's very nature focused, but nature from a different perspective. It's much more kind of a scientific, philosophical, cosmological kind of nature that we are investigating on that album. Yeah, done some when we were playing, when we were recording the Visions from the Spiral Generator. We did that with little bit of a different lineup. I mean, Steve DiGiorgio played bass
Steve
for
DiGiorgio
2 hours.
did my
Yeah,
bass.
and actually I went over to America with him to and I hanged out and stayed at his place and stuff like that, recording the bass with him at the studio in San Francisco. And actually, when I was over there, and me and him, we did some hiking, some mountain trips and stuff like that, but haven't been exploring it that much. Of course, Alaska is kind of the final frontier that I want to kind of go to someday. And if I go there, probably write some albums about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, about the American nature. All right, so here we go. Why do you think, Danny again, why do you think Vintersorg's music has reached this far, different parts of the world? Even most of your lyrics are exclusively in Swedish.
Yeah, it's hard for me to actually answer that. Kind of if I mean, how should I think?
Well, okay,
Well,
I can answer it. What you
yeah,
want me to answer? Because I'm a guy
yeah,
who doesn't speak your language. Like, okay, so like the first album I've ever heard of yours was Udmarkensun, and like not knowing your language, what grabbed me the most was just like how authentic and structurally it sounded, and the way how you sing. I was talking about this with someone last night. You know, I love hearing music in different languages because I think like music. The beautiful thing about music is it's written for that certain purpose. And when artists, for example, I can only give the example is Rammstein. When Rammstein did their Du Hast song in English, like it fucking sucked. You know what I mean? Because it's like it wasn't supposed to be in English. So for me, like what grabbed me about your music and what struck me as a young teenage boy that was listening to death metal, Cannibal Corpse, Deicide, Morbid Angel, Devourment, all these gurgle death metal bands. And then I love Vintersorg because it was so different than what I was normally listening to. It was a breath of fresh air, actually. And like your artistry, your talent, even the artwork grabbed me. And I flew across the world to see you guys play, and I don't know any of your lyrics. And actually, the number one question I got from the Swedish fans was, "What are you doing here if you don't understand what he's saying?" And so, and even Johan asked the same question, and it's all about the feelings and the emotions that you put into your music. Like you said earlier, you're really driven by the emotions and nature, and I think that's what really grabbed me. So I don't know. Hopefully that answered that guy's question.
Vintersorg was something different. It was your guilty pleasure then, James.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
you were into Cannibal Corpse, Deicide, Vintersorg. Yeah, couldn't really talk about that one.
Well, actually, all right. So the first time I ever heard your album was my friend's college dormitory. Like,
see,
I was a junior in high school, and I was in a band. I was singing in a death metal band, and one of the guys who was friends with the main guy of the band that I was singing for was a huge fan of yours. He had two Fuse, he had Oda Markinson. So we went and had a party at a college dorm. And he's like, "You guys need to hear this Vintersorg album." We're like, what do you mean Vintersorg? And I looked at my friend Phil, popped in Uden Markinson, and that that was like, you hooked us immediately. And we just stared into that abyss that's the speaker from the boombox. Like, holy shit. But the thing is, it was a good guilty pleasure because you do sing in black metal voices and you're doing the death metal stuff. So it was like, it just felt so natural to us. So I just think it's like the emotion of your writing and the sound of your lyrics and how you perform. Holy shit. I remember when you joined Borgnegar, we were so stoked because we were like, we don't have to go to the city of Chicago to buy a Vintersorg album now. He's with Borgnegar. They're on Century Media. He's going to sign to Century Media. Sure enough, you did. You signed to Century Media, and your albums became more easier to pick up because you made the change. You know?
Yeah, and super great to hear. And for me, it's always a little bit hard to see like why people like if they don't understand, it's different and stuff like that. But for me, it's more as I guess you say it so well. I mean, for me, as I said before, also it's about emotion. It's about like getting that feeling when you listen to something. Yeah, and as you say, referring also to Rammstein. I mean, as you say, if you go, they just sing in English, they lose. I mean, the whole kind of setup they are kind of aiming for. Uh, but then we did the English albums, and I still feel that those albums are also kind of very much emotional, and we tried to put all that kind of stuff in them as well. Um, it's very hard from the inside to understand why people like it or not, but I guess you said it really well.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. A little
Yep.
pat on my back. All right. So
Yeah.
Marcel asks, for me, Otik and Vintersorg were the gateway to a new musical range of unknown to someone from Uruguay 25 years ago or so. So much that it helped me get through cancer in the last few months. Wow. Have you communicated with this gentleman before? Have you talked to him?
Yeah. Maybe I communicate with so many people through the social media, so I don't always remember all the names. Sorry if I
Understood.
don't have
Understood.
your name on my mind right now, but this is something that you, yeah, get kind of blown away by. So, hey, super
Wow.
thanks.
Wow, man,
Yeah,
that's incredible. That is such a
yeah,
beautiful comment. I almost want to pin it. If there's a way that I can, yeah, there it is. All right, so Jorge, what do you think of this new wave of bands with World War II themes like Cannon Fieber? Have you heard of these bands before? So I don't think Vintersorg's going to go in the war direction. So
no, I haven't
go
heard.
ahead.
I haven't heard that band. I don't. I haven't heard a band. I haven't heard of that band. I don't know, but depending on this kind of war themes and stuff like that. I mean, there are some bands writing more kind of a historical about different wars, different periods of time. Uh, that has not been that interesting for me. I'm interested in history for many aspects, but uh, war is kind of the ugliest side of man in a way. I mean, for me, I always like to shouldn't shouldn't like back down for the uglier side of yourself, and as a mankind, you should of course try to explore that, understand it, and see how we can kind of build something better. But also, I mean, so and therefore some bands are kind of glorifying this kind of war, that and that,
Sure,
but I have never been into that because I think I live much more a kind of a positive vibe. I want to, how can we do progress, how can we do this and that. Doesn't mean that we should always mean, like I said, yeah, you can do whatever with me, I don't care. I mean, of course we set up boundaries, we do stuff, we do progress. We, it's also kind of important that you have some boundaries. I mean, we have different countries, and different countries have different laws, and of course, I understand that type of thing. I'm not this kind of also. I'm not this kind of super kind of hippie guy that just have a free world and everybody is just having a great time. Of course, I would like to have a really great time together, but I understand there are different cultures. They are demanding different things from different people. Sometimes it's hard to really grasp another culture when you're from the other side of the globe.
sure.
But then we of course try to understand that, and we can connect and build great things together. But so long answer to that kind of, but so it's so much depending on what we are meaning with this kind of World War II. Is it on a glorifying way, or is it more kind of a historical? There are some bands just writing about the historical part, so it's a little bit depending on the kind of yeah, the content in that
Sure.
question itself.
Sure. All right. Well, Chris says coming to Norway from the U.S. to see Vintersorg in the spring, and I'm bringing my
Oh,
15-year-old. Can't wait to hear Vintersorg live. And let me tell you, Chris, say you will not be disappointed. So
hopefully I will live up to the standards then. Yeah, it's going to be a nice show. We haven't played in Norway either for 20 years, so even it's a kind of a very close country to Sweden. But as I said before, we haven't played that much in many years. So yeah, but it's going to be a great festival, great place and everything. So looking forward to that one. So I will meet you then there, and we can have a chat. And yeah, going to be
with our
nice.
kid, with our kid.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
let me ask you this.
Yeah,
Let me ask you.
Vintersorg, it's very important. We indoctrinate the young ones. The
Let me
Vintersorg
ask,
universe.
all right, so I know I already know my answer about this question, what I'm about to ask, but I'm going to ask you anyways. But like, you're going to go to Norway. Bortnigar's from Norway. Will Oystein and the guys from Bortnigar be at your show, and would you sing something off of Empiricism with them, like just during your set as like a one-off? Would you ever consider doing something like that?
I don't know. Some of the guys may be there. They're living a little bit different, spread out in Norway as well. So I will see. We're probably not doing any Borknagar song. I mean, we have also on that. There are so many songs we want to play with Vintersorg, and on that show we don't have a huge amount of time. I guess we have 60 minutes.
Sure.
We would like to have like 80, 90 minutes. That's what I prefer, so we can squeeze in a lot of material. But I guess on a festival, it's always hard. So many bands, so you don't get this very very long slots.
For sure. All right. So, what music as a child influenced you the most?
And here I am a little bit divided. The most. I'm a guy that is all over the place in many aspects. I mean, as I said, I was playing and taking part in many sports as a child. I was listening to a lot of different type of music as a child. Rock, metal.
Sure.
How much metal was it back then? But it was hard rock and stuff like that. Folk music, yeah. So it's very hard to see what was the most important part. But when I was like 5 years old, I mean, Kiss was a cool band. The whole
Was it cool?
yeah, but I mean, the whole dress up with the makeup and yeah.
Oh, so Andre, please tell me you just one time put on makeup as Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
Just
I
one
was
time.
Gene. Yeah, I was Gene. I was Gene.
So,
I think I have pictures from my childhood. We were doing this kind of yeah, not really a show, but we were just thinking that we were the Kiss band and stuff like that. Yeah, but it was a nice time.
all
I was
right. So,
Gene.
hang on. Hey, Andreas, thank you for your music. It has been with me for years, accompanying with me with every day and inspiring me in countless ways. I hope to see you live and sing the enigmatic spirit with you.
Oh.
Oh, now we're going to do some deep dive here, pal.
Yeah, the last song from Cosmic Genesis is kind of calmer, kind of
I
I
love it.
don't. Yeah, but it's a nice one. We have never played it live, and also there I'm like always like that. But is it a song that is meant to play live? I don't know if we could also of course do it in one way or another. But it's been many songs now we haven't played live before. Now on the set we're going to play in a couple of weeks, there were like 5 songs of those we played there. Had never really been played live, or is it 4 or 5, something like that. So of course that one could also be done live. We haven't done it before, but well, yeah, we'll see. There are so many songs that I want to play, and also I would like to do a more kind of theme setting that we play a whole album. We did that we're playing now in some weeks, and it's called House of Metal. We played at House of Metal 8 years ago, and then we did the Tilfjells, the first Tilfjells album. With that, we did the whole album, and we did the right track order and everything. So that was a great show. And
Did you
that's
have the
nice.
backdrops? Did you have nice backdrops of the Two Fields album cover?
No,
Like,
I don't think that we didn't have that kind of production around it, but I like that a lot. I mean, you go in to try to kind of interpret that album and try to transform it into a live setting and with the different songs. I mean, for me, as I said, I don't plan that much, but one thing I plan is where to fit the song on an album. I want to have this kind of going a little bit up and down, some a little bit faster songs, some a little bit slower. This is more kind of epic. This is kind of more very calmer. That I like to plan because I want the album to be kind of an adventure. So it's really nice to try to transform the album and do that in a live setting. So that was a really fun thing to do, just to take one album and try to do it as best as possible. And I would like to do that a little bit more, but of course, then you are just focused on that. We have so many other songs that we want to play also. So
Wow. All right. Well, Andreas, we got more questions. I'm going to let you
yep.
answer this one, and I have to go to the bathroom because I keep drinking my drinks. So
Yeah.
go ahead, Andreas. You can. Is something happening with the recording? That is they talk about the radio recording because there's a live Skellefteå recording that sounds really good.
Yeah, but I don't know if
Go
this
ahead
is
and answer it. I gotta go upstairs. I
Yeah,
got an emergency.
yeah. Depending on what we are talking about here, maybe it's the one that we were recording a little bit with the good help of our friends. Bart, you're here, right? He did the shoot with a camera shoot and filming it, and also taking up the audio. And I guess he's done some rendering of some songs so far. I guess we will not plan to make that as kind of a commercial product, but it would nice to share it with you guys in one way or another. And we haven't planned, yeah. So it's not a plan, a kind of a full production live DVD of it, but of course it would be nice to share some songs from it in one way or another. I think that's kind of the story of that. Um, and yeah, always for me, it's always nice to record stuff live, and but I'm also very critical to my own performance. So when I see this kind of recordings from live shows and from yeah, even if it's just audio, but if many times nowadays everybody's filming with their mobile phones, and I'm so critical of my own performance. I was like, oh no, the vocal is not super perfect on that note on that song, but well, it's a live setting, so it's going to be many times you don't have this, especially when you're playing at festivals. You don't have I mean, on the left thing, we had the good opportunity to have a good sound check, but many times when you go to a festival, you just get a line check, just plug in and see it's like, is it working? Yeah, okay, then we go. So you don't have this kind of big kind of time slots to do a lot of kind of yeah, sound checking. So therefore you get a little bit what you get, and then you try to do the best of it as you can. So but as I said, I'm quite critical always on my own performance, but hey, it's live.
We know one guy who was with me who traveled all the way to America, brought 2 cameras,
Yeah.
filmed the whole show, and he's. I'm not pointing any fingers. I'm
Yeah.
not pointing any fingers, but damn it, get that footage fixed, man. Because like I've seen it. It's amazing. It's oh man. So you do have there is some quality content that would make a cool
Yeah.
DVD for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, go ahead. I started to go to IKEA because of Vintersorg. Wait, so are you
Yeah.
promoting like good beds or something?
Yeah. I mean,
So
should do a collab with IKEA, Vintersorg, IKEA, spread the Swedish world across the globe. Yeah, but that's nice. Yeah, go to IKEA. I don't know if we support them. They probably have children making the furniture for them.
So, wow. All right. And then a lot of people just kind of went back and forth with the chat, but this is your upcoming concerts you have right here. So, congratulations. And when was the last time you performed in London?
never done. So
Never played in London, really?
nope.
Wow. Have you ever visited there, like by like a
Yeah,
vacation, or
yeah,
did
yeah,
you like it?
yeah. But it's going to be nice. We haven't played in UK. There's been a lot of many times in the past that we got some proposals and we're supposed to do it, but I don't know. In one way or another, it always got kind of, I don't know, not canceled. We didn't follow through on it. So, uh, but yeah, this would be nice.
All right. Quick question: which country or festivals would you like to be a part of? Would you like to perform at? Is there anything that you were like? I mean, you've done whacking, you've done house of metal, you've done great big festivals, and you did
Yeah,
whacking with Borknagar. But what
yeah,
about doing whacking with like Vintersorg? Were you ever asked to go to whacking with Vintersorg?
yeah. We did back in the Vintersorg as well.
Oh, so
Yeah,
but
I
yeah,
think I was playing it 2 years in a row. One way with Windsor, one with Borkner, or something like that. It was very near in time. Uh, so yeah, I've done back and we did summer breeze and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have this kind of that and that festival. We really that would be very nice. Every festival could be nice. Different kind of yeah, different type of audience depending a little bit. Uh, Germany is always very good for winter, so we have a lot of fans in Germany. Yeah, and now I see we have people coming from all over. I know that, of course, but in Germany, it's always been very good for us when we were on tour as well. But but we're open for many things. The problem we have that we can't be away that many days each and every day. If we play 1 day festival, we can't be away for 6 days. So then it kind of gets a little bit narrowing it down. Where could we go if we have like we could be away 2 or 3 days for one show? Then yeah, you could travel across the globe, of course, in and back, but it's a little bit hard to do that and perform and go home and then straight from the airplane go into a work setting, the daytime job. So
what
that's
about
the challenge.
70? What, I'm sorry to cut you up, but what about 70 tons of metal? The cruise, the heavy metal
Yeah,
cruise. Would you be interested in doing something like that?
yeah, we have been asked to do that before, but that was some years now ago. So we haven't got proposed that recently, but we have had the opportunity to go, but we couldn't make it back then. But that's some years ago now. But it
All
of
right.
course be nice.
Well, Danny keeps bringing it in.
Yeah, yeah.
Andreas just said he plans to put each song on an album, but in an interview a long time back, he said that it was not intentional. In fact, Cosmic Genesis has growls only for the first 4 songs.
Oh,
He's
maybe.
going deep dive.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe depending on how I answered on that one, I don't know. I think on that, maybe depending on how I answered in that interview, but I think also Cosmic Genesis is planned in a way also. Maybe it's yeah, as you were saying, the kind of black metal screams are in the first part maybe, but on the other parts also kind of varied. So yeah, I don't know. But of course, I shouldn't sit here and say that I super plan everything. But it's of course I have it in my mind. I'd want to be the album to be kind of an adventure, but of course, everything comes not of course, but for me it comes very natural. I have this kind of a setting already in my mind. So when I'm writing the songs, I feel like this should be a little bit connection with that one and stuff like that. So it's a little bit. It's not super planned. It's not a plan.
So, all right, this is another any live footage you can upload or release somehow. Old live Vintersorg material is rare to find, and anything extra would be much appreciated.
Yeah, I just found one today, but it's not old. It was new one. It was from the last year we played at Monogram Open Air in Sweden. Found some song that was really good sound quality. I will share that on our socials after the. It's on
After the
YouTube.
session, all right,
Yeah.
All right. So, what role does philosophy and science play in shaping your lyrics or musical vision?
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah.
Great
Science, as I
question.
said, is I'm very interested in it in from many aspects, and philosophy, as I said, is kind of for me is part of man and nature. Man try to explore nature. Science is a way to understand nature, as I see it. Uh, Philosophy is another way to kind of comprehend who you are in a larger scale. So everything in that kind of is connected for me, I guess. Philosophy and science and nature in the more kind of a natural surrounding nature. For me, that's very much connected to each other, and I don't see that as kind of opposites or stuff like that. So it has big role in who I am as a kind of thinking and living being. Uh, I try to understand who I am in a kind of vaster perspective. And of course, have been digging a lot in this kind of more existential matters for many, many years. But also, uh, you come to a kind of a, for me, I'm not a religious guy in any way. I don't, for me, science is the key. I mean, the evolution is the kind of framework that I work from. But also there are stuff in that. I mean, that's what we have science for, trying to understand it deeper and deeper.
Sure.
Uh, but while doing that, it's kind of more philosophical side of comprehending, not just understanding the more kind of molecular side of the universe, also how we as a being can be a part of this and make this where we are living as a is a great as a, like a great place and to enjoy. I mean, you could what I have. I'm a kind of a how should I put this? I'm a kind of all-in personality. When I do something, I do it totally, fully, and that's a little bit challenging sometimes because I can't really let things go. I need to dig deeper. I need to really understand. I need to, and of course, you can just dig your way down deep, deep, deep in a dark place. Also, in that kind of sense, especially when you are working a lot with more this kind of existential questions. But so for me, I think to balance stuff up, I understand I don't know everything about myself, the universe, where I live, but try to. But I think it's a kind of I'm a curious guy. It's funny to understand stuff. I'm a very curious guy. It's funny to understand stuff, puts meaning into life. So from that perspective, philosophy helps you out to kind of question stuff. But of course, there's a lot of different philosophical frameworks. So depending, yeah.
All right. Well, great.
It's more very philosophical answers.
No, all right. All right. Okay. So wait, I just have to make a comment to Krista. She's still watching us. Do you know any tattoo parlors in Norway that are close by?
uh, no, probably. I mean, nowadays, nearly on every festival, there are tattooers there. At
Well,
least
I
here
mean,
in, yeah,
well, because our friend Bart got his first Vintersorg tattoo,
yeah,
and Andreas was there, and he took the picture. True story. We were at dinner waiting for Bart
yeah,
to come meet us, and Andreas and Bart came together because Bart was getting a Vintersorg tattoo on his
yeah. And the
arm,
thing,
and Andreas
yeah,
was.
and he had it before me. That's a little bit disturbing.
So
He had
maybe
it before
Krista
me,
could.
but I did, Bart. If you're listening, I did that quite after you done it at the same place with the same tattooer.
See now, Chris, if you want to get a Vintersorg tattoo with
Yeah,
Andreas next to you, you're probably more
yeah.
than welcome to do that. Um,
Wasn't
here's
she bringing her daughters? Her daughter should have a Vintersorg tattoo as well.
yeah, 15-year-old kid with hey, maybe in Norway they could get away with it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, were your parents musicians?
No, not in any sense musicians. My grandfather had some musical talent, but no. But what they did instead, they really supported me when I was. Of course, my father wanted probably if he could just choose by himself, he would probably had me go into motorsports. but he understood that yeah, I needed to do the music thing, and they supported me yeah fully on that one. So I have a lot of stuff to thank my parents for yes supporting me in this kind of musical journey. They were buying me instruments and yeah doing stuff that
Wow.
I so that I could yeah just to I mean, remember the Markenson? I was playing, recording that album. I did that album by myself, and my mother was driving me to the studio in a different town, and yeah, and that was good, good. And actually, I think she was taking the band picture as well. So yeah, she was uh, very supportive and still is.
She just has a more important role in the band. So,
Yeah.
all right. So, Krista says, please keep posting acoustic videos on your socials.
Wow.
Love to hear your voice in that way. I asked him to do acoustic tonight, Krista, but he's with the headphones, so we can't. But yeah,
No, but
I do also enjoy those. But go ahead.
no, we did some tryout in the sound check before, but the guitar sound doesn't come in the mic and any good things. So but I can drop. I can, but I will probably drop some more on the socials, and that's kind of my new thing. I really like to share, and many times, yes, as I said earlier, I write song on a daily basis. I write music on a daily basis, and like to. No, I feel like it's very nice to share it as I write it. So,
Sure.
and therefore you hear me kind of many times come kind of a little bit fumbling on the guitars because I have just wrote it 1 minute ago and I just record it and put it out. Not a whole full song, of course, with all the vocals and stuff like that, but it's just nice to share ideas in that sense. Also nice to get a lot of feedback on that, and it's nice to have this kind of. I mean, nowadays when we have this opportunity, when the internet can really connect us, it is nice to share my thoughts, ideas in kind of a musical uh, frame like that, and it's really nice. I get a lot of it from myself as well, because then I and also I'm a little bit in an egoistic side. Then I have also recorded that idea, so I don't slip my mind on it. So, but of course, probably when I put it out on this kind of social platform, they would say, "We own it now."
That's what I was worried about. Maybe someone
Yeah.
else will take it. And see, that's the thing I would be concerned about is
Uh,
someone else is in the middle of writing something and they see one of your videos and they go,
yeah.
"That's the part I'm going to take and put it in my song." You know.
Well, do that. I just write a new song and
So, all right, Abzu asks if you could revisit one album,
Hmm?
reinterpret it today, which one would it be and why? It can be any band where you wrote music.
Right. Oh, many. One album that I'm returning to lately is the Vintersorg album called Jordepuls, the first one in the
Oh,
elemental cycle, the Earth album. That one, the songs are really strong on that one. The production is a little bit too black metal. If I would done it today, I would have done a little bit more bigger, a little bit more vaster, more dense. It's kind of very, very organic, but it's also had this kind of rehearsal room aura around it. But we wanted that back then, because then we had done the Sol and Srötter. We were like, we need to do a very raw album. But I see that the songs on this album, on that album, is very, very strong potential. And if I would have done it now, I would have done it a little bit different, a little bit more polished, a little bit bigger. I think the songs could have been the songs are really great as they are. I love the album in that setting that it is, because it has this kind of rawness to it. It's kind of very organic feel to it. But I would think those songs could also fit in more kind of a little bit more epic way, and that's something I would like to actually try further on in one way or another, to do take some old stuff, some old songs, try to kind of maybe re-record it or remix it in a stuff way that it make it a little bit of a different kind of approach to them. But of course, when you do that, you devastate the
Yeah, the fans.
the legacy of that song. But well, we'll see. I haven't decided on anything yet, and nothing is decided. But that album, I would kind of try to interpret it in a little bit of different kind of production setting, I guess, because the songs themselves are really nice. And we are playing now one song on the upcoming show, Mörk Nebulosa. We haven't played that song live before. It sounds really also nice in the rehearsal room. So because
Well, all
the
right.
rehearsal room is very close to the album.
Sure, sure. So, all right. So, Krista said she would love to get a tattoo there, and that she would allow her child to get a
Oh,
Vintersorg tattoo. She's got plenty of space. So, Krista,
yeah.
make your appointments now. Bart says awesome, and then back to Abzu. If I'm not wrong, the EP, which I'm not going to pronounce
Yeah.
that because I don't want to
Tillbaka,
butcher it.
yeah. Tillbaka till källorna
Really,
means like it's a back to the sources.
all right, where old songs recorded with the new
Yeah.
V sound to speak. So go ahead. What's your comments on that?
Is that really something where old songs recorded with a new? Yeah, but that EP was actually kind of a lost EP. Those songs are actually something many. I would say not the whole song, but a large chunk of that EP is written before the first EP that was released under the Vintersorg, because I found this really really nice old cassette tape with a lot of that kind of riffs and ideas. And one day, and I remember that I have recorded, but this was kind of lost somewhere. But many, I guess this is 10 years ago, when we were supposed to do this kind of Till Chess Part 2, we recorded this one a little bit before, because I have found that tape, I found the songs, found a lot of riffs. Then, of course, not of course, but I recorded. We put it in a little bit different instrumentation. I didn't have that on the tape. It's more guitar riffs and some vocal IDs, and so. But the song structures were mostly there. So those songs are very old in that sense, but was not released before 8 years ago.
Wow. So, wow. All right. Well, there you go. We have another one. Is good he posts those videos while he's composing, so now he doesn't really have an excuse like my hard disk just exploded and deleted the new material.
Yeah. Oh, I have so much new material. These are just very small parts. I think I've recorded already 2 or 3 Vintersorg albums. Not in it, yeah, but not in its totality. But the songs are there. They are recorded. The guitars are recorded. Keyboards are recorded. Drum programs. But now we're probably going to have real drums. Like we don't know yet. But yeah, we're going to have. Ben is going to do drums on next album. So the song structure are there, the basics of it. The vocals is not there yet, and I recorded so much music. I also recorded a new dim build album that I'm mixing right now. I've recorded a new album with Harmdaud. Yeah, so yeah, I have a lot of discs that are full of music, but also doing backups on those, so they will not be exploding and blown away or defunct in any way. So we will have a backup in the cloud.
So how do you decide for which song is written for which project?
It's very easy for me. I always go into Vintersorg mode. Now this is Vintersorg. then I always, and that could be seen as a kind of a contradiction what I put up, but I always write a whole song in one setting. But then when I record and just put them on socials, it's just parts of it because it's going to be very complex with a lot of different parts. But I always write a whole song. I don't just write one riff and then next day I write another riff. I try to write a whole song. Okay, this is the kind of a verse, the chorus, and kind of bridges and stuff like that. This is kind of an intro, and I try to write the whole song. But not with, of course, with the whole instrumentation. Then I take that and start to record it in my studio, and then the songs come to life. Then I get new ideas when I record the guitars, and then I put some keyboards, and I need some horns and brass and everything. I mean, then I start to build up one idea lead to another. So what I'm saying, like this things that I write as a kind of a basic is very the basics of it. Then I started to put a lot of layers. And Vintersorg nowadays is not complex in that we're not playing this very, very strange time signatures and stuff like that, but I would guess a little bit complex in ways, many layers, different type of sounds and different kind of, yeah.
Sure. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Andreas, are you still posting or still in contact with the Ultimate Metal Forum people?
Oh, yeah. I guess a lot of those people have. There are probably some that haven't transformed into the other social media platforms, but Ultimate Metal Forum was a kind of a forum before social media. Kind of, well, yeah, it was in the same period of time maybe, but so old forum that we had, and then also with some guys from that forum started kind of a Facebook group under the same banner, and I that one still is alive, but I haven't. Sorry guys, I haven't been there for a long time, and I don't know how much things are going on there. But I also see that type of people in the other channel. So what should I say? I should be visiting that Facebook group a little bit at least. see if it's a lot of great discussions there.
So, are you a hockey fan? If so, which team or which football team do you like? We did watch hockey together, and I still have my Skellefteå flag upstairs.
Yeah, the hockey team of my town is called Skellefteå AIK. And I like to watch them. Not much before. Some year, maybe many years ago, I was much more going there to watch it live. Nowadays, I get a little bit lazy in that sense that I just watch it on the telly.
Well, you're too busy writing music, man. I mean, come on, that's the issue.
Actually, we had a game today. I don't know how it went. Now should probably look into that.
As you do it right now.
Yeah.
So, all right, no kidding. I created a Facebook account just because the people of the Ultimate Forum migrated to Facebook. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So this whole group thing is becoming such its own thing. But hey, man, we're approaching 2 hours, which has gone by really good, and the audience is not stopping. We still have 23 people watching us consistently. Would you take the time to go find some of those original Otik pieces?
Yep, I have it.
Now, what I'm going to do is, if you have to go, if you go into the other room and try to find it, I will keep reading you the questions as they come. Oh, you have it.
Yeah, I have it. I'm kind of.
Danny asks, does the forum still exist? Jorge asks, does that forum fill it? All right, so now you did all the artwork for Otig back in the day?
No, in the demo days. How should it? This is one for the sec. No, where is the? Yeah, this is. Yeah, they are kind of in the plastic setting here. This is kind of see, it's kind of a forest, the big moon in the background, wintry stuff. This is kind of folklore, black metal stuff. I mean, uh, actually, this one is kind of a oil painting from the third demo. You see, it's kind of a
I was like
yeah. You see, it's kind of
confused.
a no, yeah. But you see, it's kind of a troll face that it's in the mountain itself, and you see the little creek down here with a lot of trees, kind of a glacier on the top of that mountain top. Yeah. So and actually, uh, those are now scanned in and digitalized. So, and Hammerheart are just working to put it all now together. And
No,
yeah, we have a good collaboration on that one as well. So, going to be
now on
great.
the topic of Otik, really quick, because in those times, like Viking metal, folk metal, Nordic metal wasn't really as common as it is now. And people were to ask me who was kind of like the god. I wouldn't say Godfathers. Of course, you had Bathory, you had
Yeah.
some of those bands that really kind of did, but you really took like the folk approach. Now we have bands like Insiferum or Moon Sorrow, or you know what I mean, or Winter Sun. You know what I mean. So I think like you secretly inspired a movement. Because you were doing things that a lot of people weren't doing in the early '90s and mid '90s.
Yeah, I wouldn't take credit for all of that, but I see that we won one of the pioneers in a sense that I mean Utig was very not that much metal, but folk rock with a metal twist.
Sure.
Vintersorg was of course black metal with a folk twist, and started back then in 93, 94 or something like that, 94 I guess. So yeah, in a sense, I feel like we are one of the kind of originators of it.
Oh yeah.
But what does that really mean? I don't. For me, it doesn't mean that much. I've been kind of consistent in what I like to do, and then of course, Vintersorg have been traveling and different kind of variations of musical chapters, but always had this kind of folk element still in it, even if we have done more progress stuff. Uh, so it's
So,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue,
I know,
man.
but
There's
yeah,
more
we
questions.
can. Yeah, we just go for another
So,
one, Danny.
all right, yeah, Danny, what do you compose? Do you sit and think I'm going to create a new riff, song, etc., or you are just walking and eating whenever a melody hits your brain?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's different from time to time. Sometimes it's just hitting me, and then I need to kind of grab that idea and before it kind of flies away for me. And nowadays it's very easy. I get an idea, I record it on my phone, blah 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 blah, do some singing. Uh, then I have saved it. Uh, uh, if it just comes to me when I'm not thinking of writing music, and then as I said, I will always try to write a whole song. Of course, then I take the idea and then I come home and then I try to write something from that. Oh, this is a great start. We should write. I should write a whole song of it. But when I set, but on a more kind of an intentional basis. Okay, now I feel very inspired. Grabbing a guitar or other instrument, then it's more kind of an intentional base, and then I but also it's very hard for me to describe the writing process because it's just there somehow. I don't
Sure.
force myself to be like, oh, this I would need to force myself to do that and that, and but for me it's more like, and therefore I like to write a whole song in one second because everything's kind of builds from each other. I start with one thing, oh, that leads to that one, and then I get a new idea, that should be go into a transition, that, oh, and then we can with the big chorus, oh, and that melody is like so, and therefore I like to write the whole song in that sense because then it's getting kind of a fluent. I need to, yeah, I like to need, but I like to do it like that.
So you're
Oh,
kind of spontaneous. No, you're kind of spontaneous then, right?
yeah. So spontaneous, but also when I feel inspired, it's also, I mean, I don't know how people see this, but for me, it's more like, okay, now I have a creative energy in my mind and in my body. I feel that I need to do something, and then I just start work. I don't sit at the sunset and waiting for inspiration to hit me and like sitting there sipping some wine, watching the sun go down, and now I get inspiration. Now somehow when I feel this kind of energy inside me, then I just take some instrument or try to do some vocal melodies. Then for me it's more like going to work in a way. You just start to work, and then one thing, yeah, you produce something that you can take and mold it a little bit different. Then you can put that in connection with another thing. So in that sense, you're building up a song. So it's but sometimes you just something just hits you. Oh, that melody, where does that come from? Or that lyric ID. And then it's just try to kind of freeze it in time, record on my phone or whatever. But I'm not sitting waiting around for inspiration to come alive. It's more like, oh, now I feel it. Now I need to because I should put it. I'm very concerned about that energy to do something very good with it.
See, I'm surprised because you're a father. I would imagine like waiting for like your son or your daughter coming in the car when you're picking them up from school, and you're like, "Damn it, it's so fucking cold outside.
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
my kids." It's like because you're saying like everything you get. So, did you ever wrote a song while you were waiting for one of your kids from somewhere?
Yeah, actually, and then I mean the title song from the Air album Orkan. I remembered I was writing that in my car, waiting on for my son coming from. I'm sitting outside school. This was winter, and I was like starting to get this melody going, and that is the chorus part on that. And I was like, hmm. And then we didn't live that far from the school, so I was picking you up. Then we get home, and then I ran down to my studio, then started to record stuff, and then did, oh, that is the word, and this is the chorus part. So I remember it so very clearly. It was a winter, and here, I mean, I was picking him up in school, but it's dark by that time. I mean, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's very dark, pitch dark here in the winter. So
Seen it.
yeah, so I was remembering that I was sitting in the dark in the car and just got that melody and starting building on that. And then I was like, come on, son, we need to go home. I need to record this.
I would imagine your son's like, "How was school?" "Oh, it was
uh,
good." "What about you,
uh,
Dad?" "I wrote a song. We got to get
yeah,
home
I
right
said,
now,
yeah,
man." So, well, was that ever a problem for you trying to balance like the
yeah.
band and family life? Because was that ever an issue?
If you ask me, no. If you ask them, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It's always about this kind of priorities. Music has been for me a so huge part of my life. It's always going to be a huge part of my life. I can't see myself without music, not at least feeling well. So it has been a huge part of my life. But of course, in different periods of your life, you need to focus more on when the kids were much smaller. I need to focus much more on them. Now they are grown up and they are doing everything by themselves. Now it's more. It's me. Like, oh, can I hang out with you, son? Hey, can I hang out with you, my daughter? Like it's a little bit more like that. Uh, because now they're grown up.
So
But
now
of course.
I'm curious. All right, so your daughter's older now. She's much older. Has she brought in the past like some of her boyfriends over, and she's like, "That's my dad's record over there," and he's like,
Yeah.
"Cool." Did you ever try
Still,
to impress some of her ex boyfriends? Like, I'm a world renowned musician, and did you ever try to do something like that?
no, not tried to do it, but I live in a small area. I've left this small town in if you compare it to many other places. So here, I mean, everybody knows something about the other person in one way or another. It's kind of interconnected in, yeah, like
Sure.
3 steps away, oh, that guy, oh, he's the brother of that guy and stuff like that. So of course this happens all the time, and my daughter has some. I don't know if it's a boyfriend, but he's a boy and he's a friend. uh, but and I remember but he's a really nice guy. I remember him from I having him in school.
He was your student in
Yeah.
school? Oh
And
my God. Well,
he didn't understood that before it hit him like, oh, it's you, like, yeah. But
okay.
and also nice. My son is older than my daughter, and he have had friends that are into metal and listen to Vintersorg a little bit and stuff like that. So, but it's also more like their friend's father is a Vintersorg fan or mother. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, here's a question that's been sitting out here for a while. Will you perform
Yeah.
Yarnsuldet? Yarnsuldet on House of Metal this winter?
Yeah, the Iron Castle. It means House of Metal. Yeah, it was kind of a funny way of. We have done this kind of thing when we play in a festival, play a brand new song that's never been played before, just specially written for that festival. We have done that 3 times, I guess. Yeah, just wrote a song for that festival, never played before, and never played after. And we've done this on the first last time we played on House of Metal 8 years ago. We played it, and it was kind of a little bit of a funny kind of a wording thing. House of Metal is a festival called. Järnslottet means the Iron Castle in a kind of a Vintersorg setting. So we guys were playing a little bit with that setup. We played it there. We haven't planned. We're not going to play this time around on that festival. We don't have the time
sorry. Sorry. All right, so Nod says he loves the black metal parts, and Andreas just flows freely.
Yeah. I'm a free spirit. I am that hippie. No.
Oh, now we're talking about the Facebook group.
Oh.
Yeah, with a couple more V fans from the United Metal Group. And, this is a cool question. I actually like this question. If you could speak to your younger self from the Cosmic Genesis era, so we're going to go back and you're going to talk to yourself with that young, long hair guy in front of that computer with the Danzig flag above you, what would you say to yourself?
Go ahead, do your thing. Just do whatever it feels natural. Don't hesitate to plunge into different musical aspects. So, in that sense, I feel that I've gone down the path that, for me, has been something that I appreciate also nowadays. I'm very satisfied with what we have done. That we have done that kind of trip, not just doing kind of repetitive one type of album. I mean, of course, we have this kind of big frame that we work inside, and then different albums get a little bit on that edge. But now problem. Well, is that a problem? But I feel a little bit like, am I getting a little bit boring now? We are Till Fjälls Part 2, Vattenkrafternas Spel. It has this kind of same a little bit aura around it. Maybe there are differences in those albums, of course, between those albums. Should we take a more kind of brave leap into something? But still, it has to come natural. If I mean, we are already, as I said, we have recorded a lot of new songs, and we are going to focus now on do a kind of recording the next album in the full setting. And will that be very much different? It's a little bit hard to tell. It's not going to be super proggy with bananas time signature changes and stuff like that. It's kind of flows in this type of setting that we are on the new album, this album, Vattenkrafternas Spel. but still it's a bit different. I hear that there are a little bit of a different vibe on it, but still we haven't recorded everything, so it's can shift also still. And also you can color a lot in a kind of a production also, so it is a bit different. But of course, I like to also be brave, but it has to come natural. Not for the bravery itself. Oh, now we have to do something very, very brave and strange just to keep our uh, mind occupied with different parts. I mean, I have different bands in different genres, so I can explore a lot of different sides of my musical kind of what I want to do musically also.
So I love it how we're already talking about a new album when this just dropped like less than 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the old,
Like,
that's the old album.
yeah,
That's
this just
the
dropped 2 weeks ago. Well, hey man, I've been talking to you for over 2 hours.
yeah.
I know it's getting late there, but we'll do one more. Andreas, how many unrecorded or recorded are unpublished songs do you have saved? Any chance of them ever seeing the light of day?
Yeah. I mean, as I said,
So we'll end with yeah.
yeah, as I said, I recorded I guess 2 or 3 Vintersorg albums, and I've recorded a new Dimbil album. I've written songs and restarted recorded a third Dimbil album. The Water Climb album is recorded for other projects as well. So I haven't counted the songs, but there's a lot of material, not finished in any sense, but the basics is there. It's very much good kind of a yeah framework from working it further on from that and taking that into their full potential. So yeah.
Well, I mean, like I said, this is the last one that just came in really quick. Have you spoken to
Yeah.
Oystein lately? I'm working on the new Cronian album, or have you composed any
Yeah.
melody that you would like to be suitable for Cronian?
Yeah, I guess this question came up earlier tonight. Maybe you
Yeah,
weren't
well, we've been
there then.
having 25,
Yeah,
23
yeah,
people, so
yeah,
some people come in and come out.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I can repeat that. Me and Øystein have talked about maybe like 1 year, a little bit more, maybe. But doing some more Cronian further on would be really nice. We've been very occupied with. I mean, Borknag has really ramped up all these kind of live activities, and he also has a studio recording other bands and do full production, and he also does like mastering and mixing for other bands as well. So, and I've been very occupied with a lot of other bands. Did 2 Hammertheart albums, and now we're working on a third one there. So, but we haven't closed that door. It would be really nice. As I said earlier tonight, I mean, we see this is, at least I see this really, Corona is something really special. It's kind of a mix of Borknagar and Vintersorg, but still it's not just a perfect mix. It's a little bit awkward as well. So yeah, I love Cronian, and maybe now I haven't listened to it in a while. Now I will revisit Cronian.
So, all right. Well, do you want to take one
Yep.
more?
Yeah,
All right.
we can take one.
So, yeah, I want to be as careful as possible with this one. I truly respect how you continue creating after such a difficult time in 2014.
Oh,
Yes, that's right. You did have a big you had a huge accident. Did that
yeah.
experience bring it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Now we
that's a
go
good
for
question.
yeah, yeah. Now we go for another hour.
Hey
No, we can
man,
take it.
I don't have any
No,
plans today, but I
no.
will say this has been really successful. The view count has not
Yeah,
dropped that
nice.
one bit. So
It's nice, but no, but
yeah.
we can take that. It's kind of an ending concept for tonight, and then we
Okay.
can.
So guys,
Yeah, I
we're
have
gonna
no
end it
problem.
with
But
this one.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, if there's some short one, we can probably do that. But this can take some minutes as well to
Good,
really
because I gotta go to
explore.
the bathroom. I gotta go to the
Yeah,
bathroom
yeah, yeah,
again.
I can do that, and
Please,
I
please.
do the full tour of my accident now. But and I have no problem talking about this. But nice of you, that's kind of saying like, okay, maybe this you don't want to talk about it, but for me, it's not a problem to talk about. I had this huge accident. I was falling off from a kind of scaffolding thing from, yeah, we have the meter system here in Sweden, but it was like 3-4 meters, something like that. I fell backwards, landing on my head on the concrete floor. I was cracking my head, and a lot of things happened. I cracked a lot of bones in my body. I got 2 brain hemorrhages, I think it's called. Uh, so, and I also, yeah, there were some other, so many stuff was going on, was breaking a lot of bones, and but it's kind of brain damages was kind of more this years, and I'm also cracking my head on 5 places. I have this kind of nearly kind of a piece of cake look like was kind of a little bit pressed in. Uh, that was a really serious thing. I was nearly passing away with that one actually, but eventually, yeah, I woke up at the hospital and I understood that well, I can think, I can talk. I couldn't walk that much from starters there, but I could think, I could talk. So I was thinking like, okay, not everything is not uh, ended with this one. But what most, I had this kind of brain hemorrhages, cracking my head. But the most crucial, the most painful thing that was, I have lost hearing on my left ear. That was the most, for me, the most horrible part. And that's, but actually they could fix that for like, but that was, yeah, I had so many damages, but as I woke up there, I felt like, okay, I can think, I can speak. This kind of brain damage that I had didn't take on this kind of speaking areas in the brain and stuff like so. I felt okay, and I could move hands and stuff, but of course I was very kind of damaged in that sense. But and I was thinking like, okay, skeletal part they will heal, but my hearing, that was I was totally freaked out, but I was totally deaf on that, my left ear. And as you see, for me, already when I woke up, I can't write music, I can't play music. That was the worst part, of course. And my kids were not that big, and yeah, they were like, my son was like 10 years or something, yeah, 10, 11 years. So it was a big thing. It took a whole year for me to come back to kind of a being up going, and I was kind of medicated all from the start. I mean, it's kind of a fussy world. I was doing all this kind of medications, and yeah, you are drugged up actually to don't feel that pain all day long. Uh, but actually, after I was 6, 8 months, something like that. I can't really remember exactly, but it could actually fix my hearing. I have a hearing problem, but it's not severe. I have a really good hearing on my left ear now. They could do some kind of surgery because the inner ear was intact. It was this kind of, the small hearing bones that you have in your ear that are connected. They are leading the sound into your inner. Yeah, I'll see you there. They're leading the sound into your inner ear, and those have had in that big hit, the trauma, they got disconnected. So the sound from
Jeez.
outside didn't was not led into my inner ear, so my brain couldn't pick up the sound. So it kind of was just silence. But when they could fix those together, and then I was starting to hear again. It was a little bit strange because kind of the hearing was kind of waking up a little bit, kind of in stages over some months. It's getting better and better, and then of course you acclimatize yourself to that. But nowadays I hear well, very well. I have a hearing problem on it, but it's not doesn't keep me from writing, recording, and mixing and mastering music. So the whole thing is like, but the physical thing, but of course in that type of accident you also go into kind of a mental, it's a very, very existential thing. when you are nearly losing your life. A lot of things happen mentally with you as well, and so
Sure.
that has been kind of a journey to work on those. I mean, it's easy to say like, yeah, but you're fine, your bodies have healed, and yeah, but something happens with your mind when you're nearly losing your life.
Yeah.
And especially, I'm not the religious guy, so I don't have kind of a belief that like, okay, but a God is always taking care of me and stuff like that. So it has been, I would say, the mental part has been the hardest part. Actually, I mean, bones they heal, uh, but the mental, the psyche, is not like you can just fix some screws here and there, and then you're just fine. So it's been kind of a, yeah, totally honest. It's been a kind of a struggling. I've been struggling a lot on the more kind of a mental side of that event. It just happened one night at one time, but it has
Jesus.
affected for like 10 years of my life now. But now I have kind of come, and it's very also hard to exactly say why is it so hard, why it does it happen, why. But it's, I've talked a lot with, I have got a lot of support. I've talked with psychiatrists and stuff like that, so I didn't do that from the beginning. So I was struggling a lot by myself, but later I've talked a lot about, and that's actually something they say, like this kind of a, like Neil, like kind of a post-traumatic stress syndrome. When your brain get damaged, it happens physical stuff in your brain that you, yeah, you're not control of that. Things are kind of yeah, broken in one way or another. So it's very hard for me to actually explain this, because it has this very eerie kind of feel to it. uh, but I've worked through that as well. But I guess I will always have to work on more kind of mental side of it. I mean, physically, I'm very fit in that sense. But the
Yeah,
mental
for
side
50
is,
years old, you look really good, man.
yeah.
Holy shit.
but uh, but I would say that, and that is my also, when I've talked to other people that's gone through this kind of very more kind of existential stuff. Many people get into this kind of stage where it's, the mental part is the hardest part. I mean, as I said, bones will heal.
Sure.
Uh, yeah,
But then also too, like you're a father, your kids are young,
yeah,
so that's also very psychologically damaging as well to see
yeah,
them cope with that, you know?
precisely, and that's without being going for 3 hours on a kind of come here and lie on my psychology couch, and then we will talk about it. But yeah, and of course, this if have affected my family situation in that sense. The kids have understood that I'm not feeling well all the time and stuff. But nowadays, I have a lot of coping strategies with this, and but also, I mean, it's also hard to understand what is what. I mean, as I said earlier tonight, I'm a kind of all-in personality. I go into something, I do it fully, and um, yeah. So it's always a little bit hard to understand what is what in when you are feeling that I'm not feeling at the peak best of my mental stage, and what is what in that type of setting. Yeah.
So, yeah. So what and it has it not affected your musical writing? You're still going on, you're still strong. And you look
Yeah.
great. What is your diet these days? Because you're just getting skinnier and skinnier, man. I just turned
Yeah.
42 and I can barely fit in my pants anymore. What is your secret, man?
uh, I don't know. I've start to run again. I'm running now. I guess that's I have done that before, but I had a problem with talking about the physical being of yourself. I've had a problem with my left knee for 2 years and haven't been couldn't run as much as I like to. Now I'm back on that, and that's feels very healthy, and one good thing lead to another, and you're feeling healthier. You get a little bit lighter in your body. You start to eat better. I mean, when you're on a good spiral, good things lead to another. So yeah.
Sure. Well, yeah, something happens in your head when you almost lose your life.
Yeah.
Vintersorg helps. I understand that reference.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the guy who Marcelo who
Yeah.
told us earlier about
Cancer.
his cancer. Yeah, that's right. Really wonderful. But hey, listen, let me let you go, man. We're going on 2 hours and 20 minutes. This is almost as long as a Christopher Nolan movie. You know,
Yeah.
so this has been great.
And we haven't going to director's cut yet.
We can easily go there because you know what's interesting? The view count's increasing as we speak, man. So, but hey, I just wanted to thank everybody in the chat and who's all watched this interview. Thank you guys so much. But let's do one more plug on the album really quick where they can find it. Go ahead, show it off the vinyl again. Let's just do one more plug on this album.
Right. You need this one. You need it in all the formats. Yeah, that one, this one. Buy the whole box set. And easiest to find it is a Hammerheart store. And now they have also set up, I don't remember the URL, but they also have a US store nowadays. So they don't have to ship from, I guess you bought it.
That's right. Yeah. I got it from the US store. And you know what's funny? I was in Florida and I got an email from them saying your CD has been shipped. So when I came back from Orlando, it was already here.
Yeah.
So, you know, but go ahead.
And if you're in Europe or other places, Hammerheart, I guess they ship everywhere.
So yeah, and the last comment was thank you, Andreas. A lot of people have said thank you. Thank you both. Thank you, Andreas. As many have said here before. Hope to see you in Chile. Remember about the Dynamic Spirit petition. And mine was just shipped 2 days ago. So it's a great album, guys. I love it. It's so much. And Andreas, look, man, it was great to see you again. But one last thing before I go, I just want to do a shout out to the rest of your band. If they're all listening, I would like to send a shout out to Mate for doing a great job on the new work. I'd like to send a shout out to Johanna for that. She was the female backup vocalist on your album. Great job. And of course, Seaman, who's your bass player. And I know Benny isn't on the album, but Benny is such a wonderful live drummer. And I had the pleasure of watching him play, and you guys are awesome. So guys, where can they follow you, by the way? Where can these people follow you?
Yeah. Easiest on Facebook, Instagram, Vintersorg. Yes.
And
TikTok, you know. We just started that account, but I was like, started that account now, but it was like, do I also have to? Do I have the time and the effort to start all over from scratch? I mean, we had to start all over from scratch on Instagram. We had quite an account and quite a following. Somehow it got hacked and it was we couldn't get it back, so we needed to start from scratch again. Now I guess nowadays they have better security about two-factor authentication, stuff like that. So now we're not going to lose it, but I think it's better you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Just search for Vintersorg on Facebook. Andreas Hedlund. I have a kind of a private account as well, but I'm cross-posting a lot between Vintersorg and in my private. And also on Instagram, we have a Vintersorg official, and I also have one more private called Mr. Vintersorg. But that one is also very connected to Vintersorg and the music I do. But also maybe there I post a little bit more all my kind of inspiration trips out in nature, and And many times there I also post this kind of small musical stuff. But for me, it's so, I don't know. It depends what account I'm in at. I'm switching between accounts and try to post and cross post and stuff like that. But you find those there.
So, and Krista, if you meet him in Norway, please get a tattoo and have Andreas take the picture of you getting the tattoo. So, great. Well, hey, guys, this has been great. Thank you guys so much. This has been awesome. Andreas, hopefully we can bug him again to do this again. And, so everybody take care, man. Take care, guys. So,
take
cool.
care.
skadad terräng med ökande markfuktighet. Slåda skogsbrott hängda samman i höga träget. Skyfall stryper markens bärighet. Skakig gamla stadssjö och leriga vattenkroppar. Vintersorg berättelse av skyldig. Den dåliga roblödan når en gömdan. Sätter bröten gödslar i slottermarken över skogen. Sverige fram över landsbygdens vatten. Och från havet slungas nu våg efter våg i en oavbruten återunderliga stad. Förlorad i bränningar härjningståg. Den levande sägen om spunna strandfårarna jag. I en oavbruten återunderliga stad. Förlorad i bränningar härjningståg. Den levande sägen om spunna strandfårarna jag.
Mashed potatoes are great.